Peace, 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 y'all. It's your boy ActionFiggySkinny here again with another quick hit review. Today we've got this is pretty anticipated since they announced it. I'm really into this for about like 3 of the 3 figures because they're all brand new and I'm excited. So we've got the Cabal 3-pack that is an Amazon exclusive. This joint came in from Amazon.com. It shipped conveniently during Comic-Con weekend. No one was expecting it to ship so early. This shit was actually slated for August 29th and only the Amazon.com link was working. To be conveniently again today, shouts to my boy Choice Collect Toys. He mentioned that the Canadian link on Amazon.ca would be working, and thus we have the Canadian pre-order available. That's coming out August 16th. So both coming out before their slated street dates of August 29th. I got this on Sunday. We are the 28th today, or 29th. It's good times. We got 3 figs in here. We got a brand new Taskmaster, which now that I noticed more of a dull blue on his body. We've got a updated kind of on the so it's the Iron Patriot on the, I believe, Infirmus or Extremis Iron Man body that came out a few waves ago. Can't remember the wave though. It might have been, hold on, one of the Serpent Society, but either way, he came out before. Popping red on this Iron Patriot. Doom with a cloth cape. That's all I gotta mention. It's Dr. Doom with a cloth cape. These 3, it's dope. Butterfly wings, new paint applications, head sculpt, new body that we needed, cloth cape. All sick. So, without further ado, we about to see what's in this box. Yeah. And for those of you that care like that, the box art on the side is just simply Iron Patriot and Doom fighting, and the same thing on the back here. It shows everybody that's involved in this team here doing their thing, and yeah, I'm excited for this. Let's get into this thing. I like these new 3-pack boxes, by the way, where they do the dual layering instead of trying to pack everything into a single plastic layer. I like the dual layering. It's good. Box is a little thicker, but you know, it's smaller. It's cool. I like it. All right, let's get this going. And here they are in all of their beautiful figure glory. We got the 3 of them here. Taskmaster, Iron Patriot, Dr. Doom. These aren't perfect, that's for sure. They're not perfect, but they are not completely horrible. There's some reuse here, obviously. But there are some things that they did kind of cheap out on that the older versions have, that these new versions don't have, that I'm going to have to talk about. So first things first, I believe we're going to go ahead and get into my man Taskmaster first, because I just want to, talk about my boy, Mr. Masters. And yeah, is it Tony Masters? Tony Masters. Love that. Just love the fact that his name is Taskmaster and his name is Tony Masters. You can never go wrong with these alternate or these like real identities that they come up with. I love it. 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 Secret identity names, great for the win. So yeah, let's talk about Taskmaster and then we'll go into the other guys and then we'll do comparisons, articulation, all that fun stuff. Let's go. All right, so here's Taskmaster, and he looks really, really dope right straight out the packaging. I like this fig. I like what they did with this. A few things that I didn't expect him to do, because when you saw the figure, like, oh wow, he comes with a bow and arrow on the cape, so you're definitely going to be able to remove the quiver. No, and I'm not too happy about that, but now I understand why they didn't give us a cloth cape out the gate. Most people are like, why you didn't get a cloth cape for Taskmaster if you got one for Dr. Doom? This is why. Because a plastic cape is easier to glue / basically permanently stick that quiver on there so it doesn't slip or have any foliage or any kind of breakage, where if you put a cloth cape behind him with a quiver / plastic quiver on top of it that pegged into the back of him, then you would have risk of like the cape getting all weird and like possibly shredding if people pulled it too much. It wouldn't be good. So this fig, I like what they did in terms of the colors. The blue is a little too muted for me. Like, I get it, his costume is navy blue, so it's more of like a grayish, but this is more of like a gray navy blue charcoal here, and it's not really hitting for me, especially with the orange that pops so much with the white. The darkish navy blue doesn't work too well for me. Otherwise, the fig comes on a new body. I believe it's a Vulcan body, because most things are based on Vulcan right now. So this is the Vulcan body with some the older school like Captain America legs. We got some new like ruffles here and the booting, as you can see. I'm gonna zoom down so you guys can go ahead and see that. But yeah, we get some more ruffles in here. So these are kind of newish boots. The belt looks relatively same compared to the other one. The head sculpt, it's a new head sculpt based on his newer look from those comics, the Dark Reign comics back in that time. I'm just gonna say 2015, 2014. Y'all can correct me below, but I'm not a big fan of the head sculpt. I'm not gonna lie. This fig to me right off the gate, it's a miss, a bit of a miss for me. It's a hit, it's a bit of a miss. The other Taskmaster just gave it a little bit more, you know, did a little bit more for me at least. A few things I want to talk about before we get into that. Let's get into his accessories. I've got some gripes about his accessories, and we're going to talk about that. So let's get into that real quick. Sure. Now, in terms of accessories, this guy doesn't, I mean, he comes with quite a bit, but, you know, some things that are cool, some things that are just, you know, that came with the previous version of him. So with that being said, we'll get into the sword. The sword in this version. Hilted sword here. Let me make that focus a bit so you guys can see that better. Here's the sword. Some nice detail on it, but, you know, otherwise, we've seen it before. I've seen the sword with Gomorrah. I've seen this sword with a few characters. I think Baron Zemo has this sword. The only difference is that their version didn't have the wrapping on the hilt here, so that's a cool detail, but meh, you know, whatever. He comes with this bow that I like it. It's the same bow that Yondu, the comic book version, has, but with a more darker wood color to it. Same wrapping on the handle here. This pulls back, looks cool. He comes with this shield, which is bigger than the previous one that the old Taskmaster came with, and it's bigger in size because it's matching more that of the I believe it started with Ultimate Cap that came with the bigger shield, and then it went on to Bucky Cap. Yeah, Bucky Cap went on to have this shield. But I just don't like it because it has that clip in the back. But otherwise, it's bigger. So it's cool. It's nicer. He also comes with 2 fisted hands. Which are, you know, okay. Fisted hands, we need those. He also has this open hand for reasons that I'm not too sure of right now. But yeah, that's alright, you know. The Vig is okay in terms of accessories, but just some things that I'm not too keen. Oh yes, sorry, my biggest gripe about this guy comes with an arrow, which is not the biggest gripe. He comes with an arrow which is the same arrow that came with Hawkeye, and you can peg this right in the back of his quiver here, and that's a-okay. Cool. You can just put it right there in the back of the quiver, just like so. It slips in and goes in and out. Pause, but you know, pops right in there. But then the worst accessory has to be this pitiful ass gun. I can't stand this gun. Why do they give this gun? Why even give me a holster if you're gonna give me this gun that is so like paper thin, almost papier-mâché? I don't understand this. Come on, guys, like really? I could 3D print something better than this. And I think the last version, I mean, the gun was goofier, but the last version of Taskmaster that I'll pull up right after this literally comes with a better gun. Like, I'm actually going to take the gun from him and put it in this holster, because what is this? This is trash. I'm not dealing with that. I am not. For what we got this 3-pack for, to charge us all that. I mean, look. This is the version that came with the... Can't remember the Build-A-Figure to the life of me, but it came out like an Infinity Wars wave. Look at the gun on this. All right? Right? Same kind of garbage design, but... It's hard plastic. That's not bending. That's not like flippity dippity. This is all fucking. What is that? No, not down. So we're just gonna take this and we're gonna pop that in here, and we're calling that George, and that's the gun he's gonna use. Yeah, that's the gun we're gonna use. I'm gonna go ahead and do aesthetic and few comparisons real quick on this guy. Yeah, this is what they look like next to each other. The new version is slightly taller than the old version. This guy keeps falling because the weight of his cape is weighted, and I'm not a big fan. Like the blue on this version looks a lot better than the blue on this. I like the thicker white around the collar of the orange here than the thin one. The orange on this is better and it pops better. The belt on here is better. I like the belt buckle versus this belt buckle. I tried swapping the head sculpts, but the head sculpts do not swap. I can show you guys, but I assure you, the this version is just very is very loose on that neck, and it doesn't work too well. But otherwise, yeah, the you know what I mean. I there's a few things that's making me still love the old Taskmaster, but I like this new one. I'm gonna have to swap out parts to get these things to work to my liking, to the perfect. You know what I mean? But otherwise, yeah, Taskmaster. Let's get into his articulation now. Now, in terms of articulation, few things that I liked about him, few things that I didn't love about this fig, but otherwise it gets the job done. In terms of looking up, he can look up not that much because the head sculpt on here is super trash. His arms go up like so and up, and they do that 360. It's all good. You get that wingspan. It goes back, not too far back because again, because of the cape, but you know, you get that forward, which is a decent forward motion. That's what you can see it in the forward motion. His ab crunch is like so, you know what I'm saying, going back like that, nothing crazy. His legs do the double knee, as you can see, but oh man, the head popped off because again, that's just something about this body's not great. Something about this one's just not great. But yeah, double knee. He does a double knee. It's not too hindered because of all the stuff he has. It's just that he's a big boy. He's a big boy. Something that didn't really want to work on this originally was the I really had to stress this to get the. It does have a boot cut. It's just you gotta really stress that to get the boot cut. Like it's not moving willingly. I will show you guys. There you go. Okay, straight leg, but that was a struggle to get that. So I don't think you're going to be doing that too much on this fig. Too much. But yeah, articulation's cool. The cape could have been a cloth cape. It's just few things that I'm just not a fan of in terms of like the head swapping, and just I don't know why they kept this quiver stuck to him. I would have liked it if they just, as I explained before, but yeah, I don't know why they did that. But otherwise, this fig so far, thus far, out of 10, giving homie like a I'm gonna give him like a 6.5. If you're gonna give me a sword, give me a sheath for the sword, or at least somewhere for me to store it on the back. You could have done that, especially if you're gonna be sticking quivers and holsters to capes. Now you could easily put a sold holster. I don't like that. You can store his bow like so if you're really like about it, but the sword is just not happening like that. Yeah, sword is just not happening like that. So yeah, I don't really love it, but it'll do. Let's get on to our man Iron Patriot. Okay, up next we got Norman Osborn, aka Iron Patriot, aka BKA, actually, as Green Goblin, evil mother. You know what I mean? Like, this is probably my most anticipated figure of this 3-pack. Getting him in hand, there are some things that I am missing, but I love some things on this figure. Love it, some things. Oh man, this thing aesthetically dope. Like, look at it. Like, okay, the red pops, the blue is a nice like super royal blue, the white pops. Sick. It's stupid. It just, I can't even talk. I got mush mouths. It's just sick. It looks beautiful. To me, it looks great. Head sculpt for Norman, you got that like tired, I've been doing evil things look on his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, I've been up to no good. There's that. It just looks great to me. I like it. I like it a lot. A few things I don't like, more in the range of this articulation and getting its arms up, and these shoulder pads, they don't move as well as the Extremist Iron Man shoulder pads move. So like, they're not as malleable. These ones are a little bit more stiff, so it's harder to kind of get his arms up and kind of get him back. It does like a widespread look. Not working too much, but we'll get into the articulation afterwards. Real quick, I'm just gonna go put him up against the old Extremist Iron Man. Not old, but the Extremist Iron Man that came out before him, and then after that I'm gonna put him up against the old Iron Patriot that came out way before him, that everyone's kind of, you know, waiting for this replacement for. Before that, we're gonna go ahead and get into his accessories wise. Let's see what he comes with. Accessories wise, he comes with this beautiful helmet that I'm going to get better focus on. There you go. Look at that. The detail is nice. He comes with these two open hands, because you can't have an Iron Man without mad open hands, you know. Really dope. And he also comes with these repulsor blasts that I'm not going to show because we've seen this so many times. So many times. So let's go ahead and compare him to those other two figs that I talked about previously, and then we'll get into his articulation. Bam. Okay, so as I previously mentioned, I wanted to put him up against the Extremis Armor Iron Man from a wave that I cannot remember the name of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up here. And there you go, right? These two look good next to each other. Right? Super good. Now, what I was trying to say before regarding the articulation, notice how the Iron Man, these shoulder pads are, you know, malleable and they can move in and out. It's not terrible and doesn't cause the arms to have any problems doing this, right? Okay, different story for this guy. For this guy, you know, it's not quite the same love that we're getting here, and then I'll show you. I will definitely show you real quick. Chase, can you shut up? So yeah, as I mentioned before, I wanted to put him up against the next two and compare him with the Extremis Iron Man. I can't remember the wave that this Iron Man came from, but I do remember that I completed that Build-A-Figure. I think it was the last member of Serpent Society. All to say, this Iron Man, as these shoulder pads are malleable, you have no problem getting his arms to full extended point, right? Which is fine. I wish I could say the same thing about my friend here. That's one thing I'll talk about when I get into articulation. But in terms of the comparison of these two bodies, these guys look great next to each other. It looks really good. Comparing him to the old version, the oldest version, yeah, you can see the improvement there immediately. And this thing is probably going to go in a trash bin just because I don't have no any use for it anymore. And yeah, that's what's going to happen to that. So yeah, that's what these looks like. It gets compared against his old versions. I'm going to get into more comparisons later on in the video with other figs. Let's get into his articulation. All right. In terms of articulation, my guy has your standard. His head looks up quite a bit. Quite a bit, actually. Even just sitting back and he can poke forward. He looks down, not as much because of the chest piece on this body. As I mentioned before, like, his arms do 360, and that's all great. Does a full 360 on the arms. But then, when it comes to just pulling those back, it's not as malleable. Like you can see, it doesn't move as much as you'd like it to. So you're only going to get it about that much, which is okay. They still kind of bend forward, but they do quickly go back. Ab crunch, yeah, none. Not really much of any. Leaning back more than he leans forward, that's for sure. I guess if you're in armor, you wouldn't be leaning forward much. He has the double jointed knees. That does touch the back. Thigh, and no boot cut on this guy, but the full foot articulation that we get on our standard figures. Double jointed elbows, as you can see. Well, actually, I'll just bend that back a little bit more. There you go. Double jointed, looking good, looking nice. Let's go ahead and switch that Iron Man / Iron Patriot helmet on him to see what he looks like. And there he is with the Iron Patriot helmet and those stark effect, blast effect pieces that I spoke about before. Yeah, this is what he looks like in hand with the open hands, those repulsor effects. Looks good. We've seen those before. That's why I wasn't too keen on getting them. But this is definitely how I'm going to be keeping him in his helmet. He looks very dope. Very nice. It looks nice. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. Yeah. Happy we got this finally. Next up, Doom. First I'm going to give my overall review of this guy, though. My overall review of this fig single-handedly, in the fact, just for what we've expected to get from him, I'm still going to give him about like a 7 on 10. Because there's nothing innovative, but the paint really hits it for me. The paint and the head sculpt, I love it. So, yeah, 7 on 10. Better than Task Force. Taskmaster. Wow. Okay, last up, but certainly not least, we got Cloth Cape Doom, and I like this figure, but immediately I am going to get into the things I don't like about this figure, in which, by looking at the older version from the Super Scroll wave, there's different paint apps, I like the shorter skirt. That's cool. You can get his legs to move a little bit more. He can sit easier. However, there's just certain things that were included on the Super Scroll Wave Doom that weren't included on this one, i.e. the buckles holding his armor together were painted. You don't get that on this version. Also, the green. I find the green on his tunic a little too dull. The head sculpt. I don't love the head sculpt that it came with by default. I feel like he doesn't look menacing enough. He doesn't look like, you know, my kind of Doom. To be honest, I'm just gonna bust it out right now and just show you guys, you know, just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, this one has more of a menacing, evil Doom look. I guess that's why they gave you the Doombot head with this, which I'll get into when I talk about his accessories in just a second. But yeah, immediately when I got this one, I took this Doom head sculpt and I switched it out and put it over here because that was just what I was feeling, and that's what I thought. I like the gold that kind of punches a little bit more. This is just like dull, but I guess that's for the cape. Yeah, there's a few things, you know. The gun he comes with is another like doo-doo brown little pistol gun. You know what, let's forget it. Let's get into the accessories right now. Okay, so he comes with this Doom head. So he comes with this Doom head sculpt, Doombot head sculpt. Let's just get that focused up so we can see it. Closest thing we're gonna get to a Terminator head. I like it. I think it looks really, really cool. So we get that with it. He comes with 2 fists, which is fine, standard stuff. He comes with 2 open hands, as you saw there, and he comes with this cruddy pistol. Another pistol where it's very malleable, very not as bad as Taskmaster's, which, to show it again, very meh, nothing great. But this is So I switched out the Super Scroll Wave pistol that is hard plastic, and I put it in that holster. And that's what I decided to do with these, because yeah, he doesn't come with much in terms of accessories. Other Dooms have come with more stuff, multiple head sculpts, but yeah, in terms of the head sculpt here, I'm just gonna bring this forward just to show y'all. Yeah, I'm not super fond of it. Don't know why, but something about it just doesn't do it for me. So what I did was took this out and just trying to get that to stand while I do this. Took this out, the deal switcher here, and booyah. And that's what that looks like. See what I'm saying? See, it has like more of a scary Doom look to it. Like, you could also, I'm gonna put on the Doombot head just to show you guys immediately what it looks like. Pop that on there. The Doombot head is quite nice. Quite nice. So that looks actually quite alright. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That looks quite alright. But I'm definitely putting on the other head. The cape is removable. I haven't removed it yet because I'm not trying to mess up my figure. But I did check quickly. This does lift up and it pegs into holes that are in his chest. So if you do remove the cape in like completely, you're just gonna have holes on the top of the chest and it's gonna look funny. The cape is double folded underneath those 2 peg holes so that it kind of has like a folded look underneath the shoulder there. But again, I'm not trying to remove mine because I'm not trying to mess up my fig. Like, I mean, y'all could do it with yours when you get it. And y'all can really check that out. Underneath, he does come with those for these peg holes to peg in here. So it can look like kind of like he's about to take off on you. Like, I'm taking off on you guys. And actually, this is cool because now finally you could do that. And then like, it'll just like, be above and it'll be nice straight up right there. So that looks cool. And yeah. So yeah, I just lifted it there for you guys to show you real quick what it looks like underneath. Again, I'm not lifting it anymore. I'm not trying to mess this fig up. Yeah, I'm going to go into the overall of what I think about this fig real quick after I piece them back together. And then we're going to get into comparisons with some other figs with these 3. See what these guys look like. All right. I can't forget articulation, of course. So real quick, we'll do that. Articulation wise, his head looks up a little bit better than the last Doom because of the cloth cape. But you know, still not too much. It looks down quite a bit. You can see that he gets that double jointed elbow cranked up, you know what I mean, with the gun, the better gun. His body wise, he can lean forward like so. Leg forward, yeah, come on, like not much, because this is still very, very hard plastic. I feel like they should have made, if they're gonna make this, you know, they should have made that material too, a little plasticky. I mean, felt would have been nice. Double jointed knees, as much as you're gonna get from this fig, the same as the last one. And the tort, or the leg foot articulation is the same as it was, where it pivots, you know, you can get a little pivot, but nothing too crazy. Otherwise, it's standard Doom articulation for a man that would be in a tin suit. He stands better than the other one. He poses very, very well. I'm very, very, very much in like with this figure. I like it a lot, especially with this head on it. With this head sculpt on it, that's perfect, because the green matches the cape more or less, and you don't need it to match the tunic perfectly, whereas the other way around, it doesn't look as great. As you can see here, it doesn't look as great, but it gets the job done. This could be a Doom bot. I'm cool with that. That could be my definitive Doom. I like it. I like it a lot. This joint gets an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 because with that gun thing and the head sculpt you gave us initially, you really need to keep the, like I was about to sell him, the other Doom. I was about to sell this guy, but I decided to keep him because you really need pieces from this Doom to make this Doom, the other Doom, Cabal Doom, the ultimate Doom. So, yeah. Cabal Doom body, Super Skrull Doom head. That's a great body. I mean, great album title. And that's where I'm at with this fig. I give this a 8 out of 10. So yeah, let's go ahead and compare these to some other figs. Each and every one of them, put them up against some new joints that came out. And give the overall set a, I don't know, numeration in terms of overall value. Yeah, let's do that. Closing thoughts on this 3-pack before I just compare them quickly to some things. Yeah, there a lot to be desired, but I understand the effort that they put in. I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on a few things, but overall, this 3-pack is worth it if you don't have the previous versions of Taskmaster and Dr. Doom. And if you don't, you might want to get those still to swap out certain parts so that, you know, you get the full bang for your buck, kind of. But I guess you don't really want to buy 2 versions of the same fig just to kind of make your perfect version of said fig. That being said, for the price, I'd wait, guys. Just wait. It's an Amazon exclusive, so it's either going to be there in droves or it's not going to be there. But I'm saying just wait. Don't rush to get this thing. Don't pay what I paid for it, because I was trying to get this review out to you guys, and I'm just excited about these things. We're all excited. We all get excited. We all want to get these things first. You know how it is. But at the same time, it's like, nah, you got to be smart a little bit sometimes. And with what they're doing with this, it wasn't like a rush and go get it 3-pack after I open this thing. So that's my theory. Those are my thoughts. You guys could go ahead and like and agree, disagree if you don't. But I do ask you to, if you like this review, sorry for my mush mouse, hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my other videos, because I'll be putting out more reviews out this week. Like I think I put out Dark Phoenix today. Yeah, Phoenix should be out already. So, or if you're seeing this first, then Phoenix will be next. If you saw Phoenix first, then you're watching this next. But yeah, I put out Phoenix and this 3-pack review this week, just to get you guys some content. These came out quickly, so I was like, let me go ahead and do it. That's cool. Real quick comparison. Let's just go and have these guys stand next to Phoenix real quick, and this is what, you know, some recent legends that have dropped, or some cool joints. Let's go ahead and put like She-Hulk in there just to see what that looks like when she's in the mix. You know, she's a, you know what I mean, a giant amongst men. Let's go ahead and throw in freaking Scar in there, see what he looks like amongst these guys. I'm gonna hold just, I gotta store his sword first because this guy's a big beefy boy, Scar. Hold on, let me beefy boy. Oh, he's so beefy and big beefy boy. There it is. Okay, so I got his sword in his seat. We got Scar here. He's in the background. You know, this is like a nice little comparison at the end of the video thing. Let's throw in Logan. Logan technically should be shorter than all these guys, but you see, we see what screen accurate Logan looks like. So now we got Logan amongst these fools. And that's that. Please go ahead and like this video, subscribe, check out my other videos on the channel, and until next time, y'all. Peace. Keep collecting.
I'm alone, no, no, no. no.